Hey guys, hey, welcome to Mondays with Marc. I'm Marc, and this is Smokeysteveandmarc. Oh yes, it is. Of course it is, right? Welcome back up. Boy, it's great to see you. And as you can see, we're still in autumn mode here. It's by now we usually are in Christmas mode, but things kind of didn't turn out that way just yet. We don't have Christmas up yet. We have Christmas out, but we don't have Christmas up, if you know what I mean. But it is still coming, and I have a feeling it's coming pretty quickly too. But anyway, yeah, normally we have Christmas all ready to go, sometimes even the day after Thanksgiving, but usually always by today, the 3rd. Usually by the 3rd we usually do, but that I guess that kind of tells you how things are going for me right now, So you know what? I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to do a little real talk. Oh yes, real talk, and it's been a minute too. I always get nervous doing these. I don't do a lot of them, but I did figure this would be a good opportunity to actually let you know exactly what's going on here, and answer a couple questions, and also address a couple messages and comments too that were sent in this real talk. So I guess basically it's going to center around health. And most of you who have been watching, for a minute know that I'm a sickly boy. I know, I'm kidding, but I do have RAAS. OA. I got the whole alphabet. Let me tell you, UV-itis. It's been, I don't know how to word it. It's been a struggle. The last couple months. I don't know. I would imagine since I had the car accident, my body was kind of jarred and stuff, and it took a while for it to heal. It took a while for me to get back to some sort of normalcy with moving. Then I had fallen after that, did that, So there were some. Last year was a little rough, and I think that my body is kind of like not paying for it, but it's like healing and rejuvenating and doing what it can. I don't know, these type of diseases, if anybody out there has any type of these diseases, and that includes like MS and even Crohn's disease, they're all kind of like immune diseases, inflammation diseases. You realize that every day is a gamble. You don't know how you're going to feel, no matter what type of therapy you're on, medication or whatnot. And, one of the hardest things to get used to was that uncertainty. How am I going to wake up? When I'm not doing well, sometimes like I'm actually afraid to go to sleep because I'm afraid to wake up. I'm afraid of how I'm going to feel. Now that's not a normal day-to-day thing, but for example, this past weekend, every night I'm like, I don't want to go to bed because, I'm not sure how I'm going to wake up. Is it going to be worse? You never think, is it going to be better? It's hard to think it's going to be better, I should say. Steve's good for that. He's like, you're going to wake up tomorrow and you are going to be just jiffy, fine, great to go, very positive like that. And I need that. The day after Thanksgiving, I woke up and was basically crippled. I couldn't walk without assistance. Cane wasn't helping. Nothing was helping. I just needed assistance to get around on Wednesday. I don't think all of this was because I overdid it on Thanksgiving. I think might have been some type of little flare or aggravation of some sort, under there as well. Certainly Thanksgiving didn't help because I didn't slow down. Another hard thing to get used to is listening to your body and knowing when you need to slow down, knowing when you need to take a break, knowing when you need to stop for a minute, because if you don't, your body will take it. And I learned that lesson over the weekend. I'm doing a lot better today. Today is the first day that I really feel the difference in a better way, if that makes sense. Was able to get around. I went to work today. I didn't go to work yesterday. I worked from home because I just wasn't mobile. I wasn't, and the pain, is pretty hard to deal with, Um, but so over the weekend, it Friday life just stopped, and that's something that happens every once in a while. Your body takes what it needs, and it needed not to move, I guess. I don't know. But medications really weren't working. Nothing was really working. It just had to kind of take its course, I guess. But it slowly got better every day. But today was the day that I felt like a lot better. I don't know what causes it. I don't know what kind of ends it. The doctors don't really seem to know. They all the doctors that I have on my team, it's almost the same thing from every doctor. Make sure you live a healthy lifestyle, eat healthy, exercise. I mean, how can you exercise when you can't even stand up? But I got to get into physical therapy too. This is something that the doctor has not written for me yet. I truly believe that physical therapy is as important as the medications too, but it's all that, quit smoking is another one. Quit caffeine. My two vices, my two things left that I do: smoking and drinking coffee. So this has to be looked into, because I understand that this is a progressive disease, and I understand that I need to do whatever it is that I need to do, slow it down, and if these lifestyle changes are necessary, then they're going to be necessary. And I haven't been able to quit smoking. I have been able to cut down, but I haven't been able to quit. So that is, going to be a struggle in itself. That and the coffee too. I mean, I never really understood what the decaf coffee, why is that even a thing? I don't know. I'm kidding. But I guess, for the taste or whatever. But I am a coffee drinker. I do drink coffee all day long, I mean, so that, but I have cut down on that too. And I'm trying to drink more water. This has been harder. I used to drink water all the time. And now it's like, it's difficult to do now. I just got to get my head straight. But anyway, okay. So, got off track a little bit, like I do. I didn't rehearse or anything. I just kind of wanted to see what came out, for tonight. But so what's going on here? So it's no secret that both of us, Stephen and myself, have been struggling over the last couple months, both physically and mentally, with our mental health as well. And this past episode with me, over this last weekend, was the first time that I had experienced nonstop pain for several days in a row, to the point where I considered going to the hospital, because it was like I just couldn't take it anymore. Other times, even with a flare, there were periods of time where it wasn't like that constant pain. This was up until about maybe half the day yesterday. It was constantly there, and it affected me this time on the right side of my body, basically from we'll just say my hip, I guess, and lower back, all the way down my right leg, all the way to the tip of my toes, and it just wouldn't go away. The front of my leg was numb. The pain was just shooting down and constant, and it was every day. And when you live like that, when it's like that, you get to a point where it wears on you. You get tired, you get fatigued, and it starts to affect I'm trying to keep it to talk about myself, my mental health, and the anxiety and the depression kicks in. And dealing with what we have dealt with over the past couple months, the accident, and falling, and kind of struggling a bit with depression and anxiety, and it my I can really go down that hole pretty quick with depression and anxiety, and I found that that's what's happening. Especially over the last 2 months, it's as if it's hard to focus, right? It's hard to remember things. It's like and everyday things like bills. Things are tight right now. This was a rough year, and it was back to back with a rough year last year, although not quite as bad as everything that went on this year. But and so I literally forgot to pay some things, and it doesn't. It's almost like it doesn't even register, and then I get real bummed out about it. And these are the ones that I don't get reminders for. I have everything set. I'm really good with bills, actually. I have everything set up. I get the email reminders and the text reminders and stuff. But there are a few of them that don't offer that don't do that. If I don't get that, I have learned that I won't pay it. I don't know why. And then when that happens, then I get mad at myself, and then I get more depressed, because I worked very hard to build my credit back up, and I don't want it to be all destroyed again, but it's almost like a confusion. I don't know if I've said this before. To kind of explain how it feels as if there are two wires, electrical wires, that just quite don't connect. If that makes sense. I don't know. But it's spread out, over everything. I find myself putting the ice cream in the fridge instead of the freezer. I find myself like walking in the room to do something, and it's gone, completely gone. I have no idea why I walked in the room, So there's that symptom of all of this, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying it's like a symptom from the rheumatoid arthritis or whatever, but it's certainly part of it. It doesn't help it, and I have never experienced this prior, to having RA or AS or anything like that. And it concerns me because, I'm a person that I don't know. I guess I'm a control freak. I don't know. I like to be on top of things. I like to know that, things get done when they need to get done, or when I kind of want them to be done or whatever. And then if they don't get done, then I beat myself up over it, So it's just this tangled web of or should I say a big circle. It always comes back to, the same thing. Gotta get my head straight, right? And I guess the trick is trying to figure out how to do that. That's the trick, right? But you know what? I've been talking to my therapist, which has been great, and then therapy is really pretty good, and you guys too. I try to keep you up to date on what's going on, especially when we have gaps of time where we may not put a video up, or because people get worried, people wonder, hey, are you what's going on or whatever, and a few people had expressed concern for me, you can see it, you can see it in my face, and I got to remember this too, that I don't I don't hide things very well, and you can tell, and so the real talks are really good. As a matter of fact, the real talk, I think, of course, was around a long time, but I think YouTube kind of made the term popular. A lot of people do real talks, and I was reading an article, and they kind of called it or categorized it also real talk therapy, and that is whether you're talking to a camera or whether you're talking like a heart to heart with somebody else. It's very therapeutic, and not just for the person who is sharing. It goes both ways, especially I especially like the fact that, if somebody else is going through what I'm going through, that this type of a video is helpful in some way, even if it helps somebody just a little bit, because another thing with anything like this is that feeling of being alone, at the beginning, I didn't know anything about this, and I went through all the steps. Those of you who have been through this know medications for this type of disease is it's not like they prescribe something and that's it. they try things on you over and over and over. And these aren't medications that you just pop a pill and the next day if it works or not. Sometimes you have to take them for a month, sometimes 3 months before you even know if it's effective for you or not. And if it is not, you start over with a new medication. And that was very frustrating at the beginning, and like kind of attached with a hopelessness feeling, because some of the medications make you sick. They first tried me out on methotrexate. Oh, I didn't ever adjust to that. It made me very sick, So we tried something else and tried something else until we finally landed what I'm on now. And right now, which was one of the questions that a few people had asked, what is the main medication I'm taking right now? It's Orencia. It's a once a week injection in my stomach. That's the main medication. In addition to that, I do have the low dose prednisone, high dose for breakthrough pain, and there's one for pain and Celebrex, Celebrex as well, and I do take Cymbalta too. So this kind of cocktail seemed to work, but the more I'm thinking about it, and I've been on it now, it has to be about 6 months, maybe even longer at this point. And I'm trying to pinpoint when these symptoms of confusion and fogginess, fatigue, and things like that, did that happen after this medication or not? Because that means I never really fully adjusted to it if I'm still having symptoms like that, right? But I don't know if that's quite it. But I do have an appointment with my rheumatologist in, I think it's 2 weeks or so. So I have everything written down. This is another thing that I do that I think is very important. I write down all of my symptoms. I take pictures of anything that shows on my body. Sometimes you get like skin lesions. Your skin starts to thin on these medications, and you bruise very easily, and it takes a long time for them to heal. Or unknown marks. You probably have seen them on me. Where they just kind of show up, and then they don't go away. They don't go away. They don't go away. So I'll take a picture of them in case they do go away. And I keep that all. So when I go to the doctor next time, I can say, on these dates, this happened, and I don't want this to happen again. These are my symptoms that I've noticed that were different from last time. That anything that I need to ask the doctor, I write down. That has proven to be very, very, very helpful at the appointments. Very helpful. So that's just a couple of things that I do. The therapy, and I've been trying to be very open and very with Steven, and he knows probably more than anybody what's going on, because pretty much on a daily basis I tell him what's going on with me, just so somebody else knows. My memory anymore is just been so shot that I have to be reminded sometimes. So as far as the questions go, so one was, what were the medications that I'm on, and another comment actually was from a few people actually was that they think I might not be telling the whole truth when it comes to my health when I'm sharing with you. And I totally get what you're saying. And none of these questions or the comments were malicious or mean or anything at all. They were really quite nice and out of concern. And they were these ones were all fairly the same, and I do tell you the truth. I don't think I make light of it too much. I don't like to share things that are too serious. I like the channel to be more upbeat and everything. But I also realize now the relationship that we both have with a lot of people here on the channel, and it is so touching that people care and people want to know what's going on and are concerned, but I do, I might not get into it too much like this and tell you exactly what happened, but I do try to, I don't really usually leave anything out. So there's nothing more serious going on. I'm not like dying. I'm not, there's nothing like that going on. And I do thank you for those comments and those messages too. And there was another question, medication and some question. I'll have to something. How has my work been? With all of this, work has been okay, but like anything else, whether it's a family member or a friend, coworkers, or your job in general. When you have something that repeats like this over time, I can't walk today. I'm in too much pain today. I have a flare. I'm not able to come into work. When you hear them over and over again over a period of time, I would imagine it's like, oh, here we go again. Da, 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 da. It's just a natural response to something like that when it's repetitive like that. But they are very supportive, and I do the best I can absolutely do. And I think they realize that. Like yesterday, I could have just called off, but I worked from home the best that I could too, making phone calls, things like that. And I had some other stuff I had to do too, talking to POs on the phone. Oh gosh, I did that yesterday from home, which is good, I guess, writing letters, things like that. So work has been very supportive, and everything is pretty good at work. Work has been very hectic. This is a really busy time of year for us. For whatever reason, I don't know. It just seems much more hectic, much more busy. We also are like, kind of dodging all the holidays and people being off and like that kind of thing. But no, work is good too. So yes, thank you for the questions. Thank you for the comments. I hope I answered them all. Definitely if you have another question, definitely comment below or shoot me an email, and I'll be sure to answer you too. I think that I think I covered that all. I think so, but I do think I was all over the place today. I really hope this made sense. I hope. I always worry about that too. I don't know. But so yes, so that's basically in a nutshell what's been going on. I personally have been dealing with mostly physical stuff that has kind of spilt over into mental health stuff. I'm doing what I can to take care of it, and as far as the arthritises go, medication, continuing to go to the doctor, doing the best that I can do to make those lifestyle changes that I need to make. I want to get into physical therapy as well. I got to drop a few pounds. The prednisone has a moon face again, but the only saving grace about that is that I know that it'll go away, and I'm going to be. But I already have lowered the prednisone, so I'll hopefully be able to drop a few pounds too. And that will help. That'll help definitely with the pain. The oddest thing ever, and I had never experienced this before ever in my life, and I am kind of curious if anybody has experienced this before. When this episode happened, Friday through the weekend, the pain was pretty bad. It didn't go away, but the front of my right leg, the front of it, was numb. You know how you get like, I don't know, like a topical kind of thing if you're having something removed or a biopsy, or like you get Novocaine in your gums or whatever, and then you like kind of rub your finger over it and you can feel the difference. You can feel the numbness. That's what the front of my whole leg at the bottom, like from my knee down to my foot, the front of it, totally numb. And then the rest of it was painful. Never experienced that before ever in my life. It's still a little bit like that too. So again, I wrote it down, wrote all my questions down. I wrote that down for the doctor. Keep up on my appointments. Mental health, absolutely. Therapy, sharing. Not keeping everything to myself. Trying not to isolate. Just having support is extremely important when you're going through something like this. Having support, and Stephen is a huge support for me. So anyway, yeah, that is what has been going on. I just, we wanted to let you know everything because it is unlike us for to have like gaps of days with no video or no like interaction. Hey, this is what's going on or whatever. And we have noticed that it has been happening, and it's been happening over the last month or so, and just a little, just not like us, So that is actually what's been going on here. There are days where we can't either get to it or can't do it, either because physically or mentally are dealing with something, So, but we do appreciate all of your thoughts and all of your comments and your messages and your support and your concern too. It's so. I can't explain how touching it is. It really is. So anyway, I hope I made sense today. I That's probably a long shot, but like I said, if you have any questions, shoot me an email. Maybe I can, clear it up or whatever. And thank you so much for listening to me babble on all evening on this Mondays with Mark on a Tuesday. See what happens? Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Definitely hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and that way you'll know when we have a new video out. You can check us out over on social media, Facebook, X, and Instagram, and all of our contact information is right down below. That's our email address and our post office box. We're doing the Christmas card exchange again this year. Yes. So, and I'm making the Christmas cards this year. I thought, should I buy them again? And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna kind of like make one. I think it'll be a little more like personal. I don't know. We'll see. If they turn out horrible, I got the bought ones like on hold in my cart, so we're covered either way. Thank you again, everybody. You have a fantastic rest of the week, and we will be seeing you very soon to welcome in Christmas. Yes! Take care, everybody. Mwah.